So joining the conversation is the convener of We2geda Initiative, Ibrahim Abdulkarim, a.k.a. Zeta 001. He'll be speaking on the youths and 2023 general elections and how we can get involved in meaningful participation in the democratic process. Welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you for having me, Maura.
So before you came on, we were talking about our frustration with Nigerians, the way we are with people. Mariam used the word intimidation. We have that culture of intimidation. The police is breaking apart, especially. They're trying so hard from the top level, where it seems at the ground level nothing is being done. Nigerians are generally frustrated with this process. As a young person and looking towards 2023, what do you think we need to begin to do to change this thing? Is it a mental change or is it a democratic change that we need?
Hi, I think we're supposed to have what is called mindset adjustment first. I think we have issues with the way we think, and it's carried into the leadership structure. So if we really want to get this frustration out of us, first we have to think, and we have that's the name of the We2geda. We have to come together and believe in something. And then it's not that all of us have to agree, but some section of us has to agree that this is the kind of Nigeria we want to build. But if you go back to our founding fathers, you understand what they said to us. When Tafawa Balewa went to United Nations, he said they are coming to take Nigeria to become independent for the reason purposely to make Africa great. So they are not after just making Nigeria great, but they want to build a system that brings the whole. That's the worldview that we have before in the 1960s. And out of that worldview, he recognized that what we have is the number. We have more numbers than any other country in Africa. And we have the diversity and the resources more than any other person. So all the other African countries believe that if Nigeria can get it right, and we can get what we want to do because of what we are exporting to the world, and we have already seen it. If we can get the leadership right, all the African countries will come together, and then we can have a nation and a prosperous Africa. And that prosperous Africa will give the whole world that view that we want to give. So in We2geda, what we decided is that we have to now walk back and see what actually is the problem. We realized that, and we formed this organization just for one purpose, and she got it very right, that the life of Nigerian does not matter. We have to increase the value and the level of life first for us to understand where we want to go to. For example, you build roads because you want to protect your life. All these big roads you see in the US and everything, they build those because they want to protect your life. That's why they have safety system. They don't want potholes because they don't want one person to die. And we just saw it in Morocco. Just one person fall into a ditch. But the whole country became agog. But now you are just telling a story of a woman that even stabbed somebody and nothing is going to happen. So we come to television, we just, everybody will rant and everything will go.
That's it.
But we see we have to do the recruitment system. I have to get the recruitment system first.
So now, okay, go ahead, Maria, please.
Yes, you know, I hear this change of mindset, and I'm always asking, how does that happen? For how long before you start to see the impact of this change in mindset?
Okay, what we intend to do is that we do what is called, we use a formula, which is a simple formula. We call it 9 by 5 by 5 formula. 9 of us come together, sit down, and now believe in what we want to do and get a code of conduct for ourselves, and also a principles and guiding principle of what we're supposed to do, 9 of us only. If we agree on this is what we want to do in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years, then we need to have friends that we can convince on what we are trying to do. So we say each one of us should bring five people that think like him. Not just 5 people, but somebody that can at least donate 1 million naira to that movement that we want to do. 5 of us. So that's mean 9 of us plus the 5 are going to be 54. So that's mean any program, if we put 1 million naira at the end of the month, all of us are going to make 54 million. So that 54 million will give us that energy to start now doing all the advocacy and the system and all go into the media houses and things that we want to do. So that 54 of us will now bring 5. They will make us.
So you're trickling it down.
Yeah, we now come on. We tell them before you bring those next 5, you have to bring people that think like you, or you convince to start seeing the Nigeria, because we have to create a citizen to create a country. You can't build a country without citizens, and those citizens have to have a clear mind where they're supposed to take themselves. So that 54 of us now bring 5. We now become 270. But because WhatsApp can only take us to 258. So we break,
to like
so we now break to the next level that all of us will now go to their zonal regional, that's south, south, southeast, southwest. Then we compose that 9 people again at that level.
Okay.
And that 9 people now go. So what I'm just trying to answer her is that if we go that level, that means we are going to reach to the ward level, which is 8,809 wards. And with 270 of us, that means we are going to have 2.3 million people that can at least give 1,000 naira. So now we have a structure, and now we have the funding. Now it's for us to now go into the system and see. That's why we say we together. We are not partisan. We are just trying to see. You can belong to any party, but come and join us so that we can have that social contract between.
I hear you, and I sense a distillation of information,
yes,
and a leadership structure.
Yes.
So because I'm in a leadership mentoring group, yes, where every day we are reminded about how important it is for us to have a circle of influence of people, yes, that trust and believe you, yes, that you can convince to believe an ideology, yes, because ideologies are being moved around, yes, and then we must be deliberate about pushing it. But the question I'm asking, I'm wondering is, as individuals, can we create this system? Can we create this new way of thinking, this new structure within an already existing structure? That Nigeria has a government, and the government, it would have been easier if we can just get a right person in leadership and that person will now start trickling it down. But is it possible to have a parallel structure within this government that will not threaten the government on ground in a way that will not start, things might go wrong?
Actually, we did a very nice stories, and we've been in existence for almost two years. It's just, you are just hearing us. So we have done our work on the background, and we have talked to all the agencies. Before we start, what we did is that we wrote our small manifesto on what we want to do, and we wrote it, and after we wrote it and sent it to all the agencies, relevant agencies that are supposed to do that. This is who we are, and this is our intention. We send it to embassies, so that the embassies, nobody can go and now replicate what is not us. That's why even when I come and say we have our website, so somebody can go to our website and see. So we now go through those things, so that's what we understand. Then we get the feedback. Then we get alliance. Then we now start to say, okay, let's move up. We just launched on Friday. Why we launched on Friday is that we wanted to sit down and make sure that we put this thing perfectly for it to reach for this 2023 that we want.
All right, some things are usually just great on paper sometimes. It's really nice, fluffy ideas, which are great. I mean, if it works out perfectly,
it's
trust
good
me,
for us,
we'll be happy because
country.
everybody's talking about these nice machineries, because political machinery, it's really nice, but it's always not as easy as it is. But go ahead.
It is, yes. So I wanted to ask a question, because as human beings, when something is about to start, there's usually this excitement, and somehow we tend to forget who we really are. But when we finally get a hold of the power, who we really are that we forgot comes to bear, and we see it. Yes. What is the guarantee that even though it seems like a different ideology, that the interest of the people will not still play out at the end of the day like we have today? Because I'm sure when you are vying for a particular position, you are thinking, okay, I will do this, I'll do that. But when you get to that seat, you realize that when they table everything down, you are picking your interests first. We still feel we are from so and so place before we are Nigerians. What's the guarantee that we will not come back to square one?
What we said, if you want to join us purposely, if you really want to join our movement, is that we are Nigerians. We don't have a tribe. We are not going to do anything about our religion. We are all from all regions. We are going to respect everything. No state of origin. What we want to do is that we want to see it clearly how it is. We are humans and we are Nigerians first. Because I always tell them, even if you are the best imam in Nigeria here, and you go to Saudi Arabia and you want to go and perform Hajj, the first thing they will ask you, where is your passport and which country are you coming from? So if you don't have you have the identity of being a Muslim, but that identity is not enough. You have to have a country, even if you go. So that nation that we have seen is the gift from God. And we are not saying it because we thought that even if you are Dangote today, that green passport will affect his business. So what we are saying is that we have to fix the nation first, and we have to inculcate in our youth. And the younger ones that are coming, 15 years, 14 years, that's our target. Our own is just to make the platform. So we are not interested in us being there. What we are saying that we want to create a platform. What we want to do in our platform is straighten. We are mobilizing people. We have a structure for our leadership. Then we have the aspirant. Aspirants can come from any party. But what we want to do is that we want to have a social contract with you. We want to know that, did you even understand the problem of this country? Why are you going there? Do you know what budget is all about? Do you know what is legislation? Do you know people that you're supposed to work with? Do you know what the commissioners are?
Right. I think I'm getting it right now. So, so your platform will help us to sift through all this and bring out that person who will say, okay, this guy we find that is verified. He's verified.
Yeah, he's verified, and also on his poster we said it's powered by We2geda. That's number one. Number two, for example, if you want to be a president, just paying people at the ward level, it will cost you almost 12 to 15 billion naira for you to get an agent that will now report election for you. So us giving you our own people to do it for you, we have already cut the cost for you for 12 billion naira. That's number one. Number two, we are going to do crowdfunding to generate money, so that at least what we want to do is that we want good people into government, and we want to remove three things from the system of politics: good paradigm, money politics, and thuggery. If we can move this 2023 to see how far can we suck this thing, and also how can we suck the hate out of the system and create people that like me, because we have values. On our values, we talk about the love, we talk about empathy, we talk about respect.
You understand?
Yeah, we have to. We have to.
So I have to ask, this is Nigeria.
Yes.
There's this constant argument about being from the south or being from the north, to the point that, you know, the hate that you're talking about, and we're about to get into another election, where usually that's when you hear it.
That's when they
what would you be doing or saying differently that would convince a Nigerian to think differently from how we've always thought that we are against each other?
We have our videos. They will soon be, we start playing them here on TVC. We have, we do a lot of things. We do a lot of research. We bring doctors. We bring people from the Europe and then from the US to sit down with us, look at what we have, behavioral change, behavioral scientists, everything. We know we have them, and everybody is not happy.
One or two things you say, just you know, that a Nigerian will listening to you today will hear and say, oh, okay.
Yeah, what we're telling them is that nobody will change the system for. That's why the slogan is, let's do it ourselves.
Yes,
no single person, no any idea can come and change us. We will do it ourselves. And then why we said that let's do it ourselves as our slogan is that don't come to us and think that you are just going to have somebody that is going to assist you and push you to where you want to go to.
So
you
you're
have
saying
to
a
push yourself.
Southeastern aspirant can trust to come to you.
Maybe you didn't watch our unveiling in Kano. You will see all the Igbo guys, you see the Yoruba guys, you see everything working together with us.
Continue our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing 2023, young people, how we get involved. I was at Pastor Ito's church on Sunday at Trinity House. And while the media was up, you know, part of the announcement was that please get your PVC. This is the website. Follow the link, you know, get your PVC. And I'm thinking, that's refreshing. I would like for every church, every mosque to have it doing the announcement to remind Nigerians, this is the link for your PVC. Go and get your PVC. So what are we doing to ensure that more young people are getting their PVC? Because at the end of the day, listen, it's all about the numbers. So we need to be able to record more people who have the PVC to vote in 2023. What are you doing to ensure that? What do you think about that?
The first thing we do, maybe because we are up in the north, a lot of people are not allowing their women to go and get the PVC and things like that. So we recruited women. Then the women from the We2geda, then we arm them with they will go into their houses and do a pre-registration for them, and then get them a date for the capture. Then we'll bring a bus. They will take them in the bus with their dignity, and we'll even give them food when they go there so that they can do their registration and come back. So we get young men that now goes to the traditional councils leaders and also talk to them on the initiative that we want to do. And also maybe during rainy season, we try to see how we are going to help them to repair some of their roofs that are now sinking, just to show them that you have to create that leadership. But we don't work with you in your area unless you have that We2geda movement in your own area that you created, so that we work with you, so that the leadership will reside on you, not coming to us. So that at least when they want to do something, they have somebody very close to them that they can now relate to and understand.
At the grassroots level.
At the grassroots level. All of us are going back to work at the ward level. So it's only what that We2geda is going to exist. Any other platform at the top is just for the management, the leadership, and the discussion. But everybody is going to work, because if we give people to be closer, they will not be thinking that the Buhari is the problem. They will not think that the governor is the problem. But let people start seeing the problem, because what we understand in We2geda is that if we want to change the country, is the smallest unit. We are going to attack the smallest unit of the society, which is a family. So we have to see how we are going to protect women, how we are going to protect children, and how we are going to protect everything. If we start from there, we have a house that is safe, the inheritance system is well working, then we can start. Then we start to talk about the people within the community, then within the schools. What are we going to put into that community school in that particular environment that we have to do? And also for the leaders, we are all telling them, all those that abandon those LEAs and public schools, we are going to make a website for all the schools for free. And then we are going to put all the alumni of that school so that we can shame them, so that they can see, this is what makes you who you are today. How can you just abandon it and just go in front
and
just
go away?
So we start to bring it here.
It's YouTube fan, Emmanuel Melchizedek, and he says, where does your ideology and philosophy and concept of leadership come from? What are those things that you're holding on that drives you?
First, I'm a believer of God. I so much believe that in everything you do in life, there is a calling. God chooses you to do something. If you see you have a gift, your gift is just for you to assist other people. It's not for you. You don't have a dime because God wants you to have a dime. You don't come to do this show because you are the best people, best female girls in Nigeria. But there is something that God wants you to do for him and do for these people. So if you have that idea and it's kind of resonating in you, then anything will fall in place for you. And then you keep on doing what you're supposed to do and then give the credit to God Almighty, and then you feel fulfilled in your life.
I like that.
See, I love where you're going to. I love the principles that back up what We2geda is, because definitely we need this platform. All of us can speak English, but until we're able to scale down and take out the hate and drive the right ideology. However, I think it's pretty ambitious to be planning towards 2023 because I know that the system is already, like there's a lot of, the movement has started. And I think it might be more realistic to set people's expectation to think long term.
Yeah, it's a long term. It's a long term.
to think long term.
Yeah.
And while I ask, somebody online was saying, oh, I don't have 1 million to join. And I want you to break down the funding structure and what systems you have put in place to, because we are used to systems being faulty and corruption filling the system. So what system have you done to check that corruption?
If you go to our website and register now, you get your We2geda ID. We are going to work with you because of it. And We2geda ID have a referral. Somebody refer you to. So you have, if you don't have, we have a referral on the website. So that means we are going to deal with you that nobody brings you, bring yourself. So you have to now prove yourself. But if somebody refer you, then if we want to do anything with you, then we ask the person that referred you based on what we want to do with you. But the payment system is that you are not going to be at the leadership when we are doing the structure to pay 1 million. There is going to be a level at the ward level where you can just pay 1,000 naira for you to join.
Monthly?
Yeah, monthly.
Okay.
Because what we do is that if we reach the ward level, we are already 8,809 wards. If we have 270, we are going to have 2.3 million people. With 2.3 million people doing 1 billion naira, then every month we will be doing 2.3 billion naira. But what we do is that on our website, we are going to put a dashboard where even if you transfer money now instantly, then you'll see your alert on it. And when we deduct anything cover for anything we want to do, you will still receive because you are part of those people that we have already. So you have your email, you have your word, so you know exactly what you are doing. And you can ask questions. We make everything transparent, and you know where we are doing the work.
Right.
So
accountability purposes.
Very important. If you see, it's part of our values, accountability, and also to be very open. That's what we choose to do. If we, and when I come back to what she's saying is that on our document we have a 10-year plan that we want to do. 2023 is just where we want to do, because no matter what, we have to do the apprentice. We have to do, we have to try and see what is the errors. So because that one we're supposed to now put off a new way of seeing it, what we're going to take, carry over to 2027. So we can't leave the 2023. We have to actively participate, see what we can do. But what we've assured Nigerians is that we are going to make sure that we sit with these guys and also make sure that we hold them responsible. So, for example, I can bring somebody, if you say he's a candidate, and come to our platform. We have a general assembly we used to do every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So if you now bring him, for example, we want to say, come with your aids and come with your laptop, and this one, you can take Wala. So the questions we are going to ask you, you can open anything and ask. For example, we asked you issue of how many people died in Zamfara last month. So your aids and everybody can tell you. But what we want is that to hold you responsible, that you know that things are happening. So when you cannot do something, we tell you, but when we are having a meeting with us, before somebody will come and tell us he wants to be the next president. Immediately we put him, the first thing he will ask us is that we know that the last government has taken more loan that he cannot do anything. But you know there is loan. Then why did you come? So you don't have to come, you don't have the, what do you have? If you know, we
Don't come with problems.
Yes, come to some of the solutions. Yes, that's what we're just thinking.
Interesting. I mean, we're wishing you the best. I mean, just so, I mean, happy that you to set this up, because as I said, we need that new platform where Nigerians can actually build, and is built organically. So thank you very much for sharing with us, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Let's go on the break. When we come back, move on to other things. Stay with us. We'll be right back.